This is Restrung video number 2. This is Restrung video number 2. Welcome to Restrung video number 2. The baddest female racquetball players on the planet. Turn on this video.
There goes a sight from my soul.
Welcome back, video number 2. Welcome to the second video of a series of videos I'm planning to make. Hopefully these things will work out. Like the title says, this video is going to be about the best female racquetball players in the world. But first, what this list isn't. This isn't a comprehensive list by any means. This video won't contain a bunch of records or stats or anything like that. The criteria for this list is rather simple. First of all, they have to be at the very top of the LPRT rankings. The very top. Inherently, that's going to be a very small number. So this list is not going to be big. And like I said before, it's not going to be super comprehensive. But more specifically is how I view these particular players. What, in my estimation, makes them as great as they are. But before I get to the list, I do realize that there are a lot of really good players. So I have to have an honorable mention. And my first honorable mention would be Natalia Mendez of Argentina, who's currently ranked number 6 on the LPRT. She's been on tour for a couple of years. She's been very consistent. She's grown as a player, and she's starting to hold that middle section of the top of the rankings rather regularly. So she's been as high as 6. She's typically running around 7. Her court presence, her awareness on court is growing, and she's really good. And Natalia has this pendulum type swing. It's Honorable mention number 2, Nancy Enriquez of Chihuahua, Mexico. Nancy's returned to the tour after a few years of raising a family. She's rededicated herself, and she's a player that technically is really, really sound. She has a great all-around game. She has good touch. She's very athletic. My impression is that she needs more court time. She needs more professional time. For the last 2 seasons, she's been pretty regular on the LPRT. But right now, she's currently number 7 on the LPRT rankings. And that's a testimony to just how well-rounded her game is. She's a very versatile player. She has good power. She has good form, good technique. She's very thoughtful on the court, almost too thoughtful. She tends to overthink what she's doing. And I know she's dedicated. She's working to build more sponsorships. So hopefully we'll see more of her. But right now, she's definitely an honorable mention. A couple of more honorable mentions would be Jessica Perea from Mexico, former number 3. She suffered an injury at the beginning of last season and was out for most of the season. When she was ready to come back, she got herself on a Mexican variety athletic show. I don't know the name of it, but that's who she is. She's a TV personality. So she ended up coming back later on in the season. She actually attended the last stop of this last season. So who knows where she'll be. She's a very intense player. She's a fan favorite. I have to mention her as one of the baddest racquetball players on the planet. If I make a list, I have to at least give her an honorable mention. Next on the list would be Carla Munoz, who's from Chile, a regular. Have to give her a mention. I have to give Cristina Amaya a mention, who currently is ranked number 8. She's a journeywoman from Colombia. Christina's a veteran. She has a lot of experience. I think she's at a point in her career where she could use a shakeup. She could use an alternate perspective on where her game is going. But she definitely deserves a mention. I have to mention a young phenom named Gabby Martinez, who at 19 chose to retire from racquetball. Although I did text her yesterday and I may be back soon, quote unquote. But this is a young player who exploded on the tour last season and was beating some of the best players in the world. Tough game. She's like a little pit bull. She's very strong. She puts her body out, and she's technically really, really tough. So she gets an honorable mention, and it's worth the honor if she comes back next season, maybe. Another honorable mention would be Canadian Frederic Lambert, who was number 2 player for a really long time. During that time, she was attending medical school, and now she's not currently on the tour because she's like weighing, do I save babies? Do I play racquetball? Do I save babies? Do I play racquetball? Do I save babies? Do I play racquetball? But she gets an honorable. And I could go on mentioning a bunch of the players that show up regularly on the tour that I'm like totally grateful that they show up on tour and they're talented players. But this is a list of very elite players, the best players in the world. So let's get to my list. Coming in at number 5 is Rhonda Racich. Rhonda is a veteran of the tour. She's definitely going to end up in the Hall of Fame sometime. Though she's been on the tour for a really long time, she's got like almost a solo loner persona, although she's great in clinics, she's great with fans. She's one of the few players over the last years who's actually managed to take a match from Paola Longoria, which is saying a lot. She's very much a veteran on the court. She knows how to slow the game down. She knows how to talk to the referees, to opponents. She knows how to try to make adjustments during her matches. Her problem is that she continues after all these years to put her body out, and she doesn't give herself enough time. This is a woman who could have been a professional WNBA basketball star. Anytime we're at a facility with a gym, you always see her on the basketball court, without a doubt. Walks around with the basketball, she'll get it, and because that's her love. But she's also a racquetball player. She's been one of the best racquetball players for the last decade. American player, former world number 1, multiple international championships. She's destined for the Hall of Fame, and that's why she's number 5 right now. Coming in at number 4 is Alexandra Herrera. Now, Alexandra Herrera, who's a Mexican player, is an anomaly on this list. By that I mean she's not what you would expect a top player to be. She's very laid back. I don't think she's really heavily into training. I know she plays a lot and she trains that way. She's faster than she looks. She makes gets. Her reach on the court is phenomenal. There are shots where you don't think she's going to get to, and she just makes it look easy. She just makes plays. She's very consistent. She's got good mechanics. She's got great shot selection. She could do anything on the court. But with Alexandra, what I would say about her is she's a gatekeeper player. She's definitely one of the best female players in the world, but she's the gatekeeper to the top of the LPRT rankings right now. If, as a young player, if you're coming onto the tour and you can't get by Alexandra, you need to go back and you need to work on your game, because she is the player that any young aspiring player would need to get by in order to find themselves on this group. If you can't get by Alexandra, this group is out of your reach. That's why she's number 4 on this list. So now we're getting to the nitty-gritty of my list, the real reason why I'm making this video. Coming in at number 3 on my best female racquetball players on the planet list. Coming in at number 3, we have Maria Jose Vargas from Argentina. Maria Jose Vargas. Maria is a former number 2 ranked LPRT racquetball player. She was at number 2 for quite a long time until she decided to take some time off to raise a family. Now, 2 seasons ago, she made her way back to the LPRT and has been competing regularly ever since. She's been working her way up the rankings since she's been back. She's been rededicated to the sport, and her intensity proves it. She's a very intense player. She's gritty. She's very gritty on the court, very vocal, and has an almost all-out style. She's tenacious on the court. She puts her body out. She's very, very aggressive. And for her, it's rewarded her with the number 3 spot on this list, Maria Jose Vargas. Now at number 2, Samantha Salas from Monterrey, Mexico. 2 words I can say about Samantha: fitness and pressure. Fitness and pressure best describe Samantha Salas's game. She's fit. She's all about attrition during her matches. If you're not ready to go 5 hard-fought games with Samantha, you better have some really good first and second games, because she is a beast. She hits the ball a ton, and she's consistent with that power throughout the whole match. She's a CrossFit professional, so for her, it's all about maximizing her game style, which is full on, hit the ball as hard as you can, keep the pressure on, keep the intensity on. She owns her own gym. She trains like a mad woman. You can follow her on Instagram and you see she's in the gym just about every day lifting weights. Crazy. That's what her thing is. Her thing is she brings constant pressure from beginning to end, and she doesn't get tired. She's amazing. She's a beast. She could probably take me in a fight. Let's not go there. I think I could take her. Come on, Samantha. If you're not a player that can adjust to that constant pressure, and then especially as the matches progress, she continues to pour that on. If you're not that player that can deal with that, you're in trouble with Samantha. And that's why she's number 2 on this list. Finally, number 1. And finally at number one. If you didn't already know this was Paola Longoria, then you don't know racquetball. But maybe that's why you should be watching this video right now. Get to know about racquetball a little bit. Number 1, female racquetball professional in the world, Paola Longoria. She's a one of a kind in our sport. Like, she's become a celebrity in Mexico. You can't go anywhere in Mexico and not say her name and people know who she is. But you add to that her professionalism. She's constantly training. She's constantly working on her game. She has no flaws in her game whatsoever that I can tell. She's ultra aware of how the matches are progressing, technically solid. She's able to make adjustments when they're needed. So for Paola, it's all about execution and problem solving. Because like I mentioned before, she's technically sound. She doesn't have any weaknesses in her game. Paola's play style is ultra aware, and she's big on adjusting. Since she is so good technically, she's put in the work. She doesn't have any weaknesses in her game. So that gives her the ability to adjust to each and every situation on the court. And when she falls behind, she's really good at assessing the situation, taking cues from her coach, Fran Davis, and then putting those cues into play. That's what a true professional does. And if you want to know, as a racquetball player, how to play your games, watch one of her matches. You can conveniently find her matches at the LPRT plug at the LPRT YouTube page. Check out the LPRT website. Please check it out. It's a testament to her that she just ran an undefeated season on the LPRT. Crazy. And it's not the first time she's done that. I'm pretty confident that by the middle of next season, she will have gotten her 100th professional title before the middle of next season. She's the undisputed baddest female racquetball player on the planet, period. The number one female racquetball player in the world right now is Paola Longoria. And that concludes my list. So that's my list. Like I said, it was short. It wasn't really comprehensive in terms of like stats and stuff. If you like this video, hit the like. If you dislike this video, dislike the video. Better yet, leave a comment. And please make sure you subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe so this way you get a little notice the next time I do another video, which is coming very, very soon. You'll be surprised. Hopefully there are more videos. And subscribe, and subscribe, and subscribe, and subscribe, and subscribe, and subscribe. And please subscribe, and please subscribe, and please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. I'm going to read some comments. Yeah, I have to wear glasses to read my phone. Comment. Let me see. Comment. Comment from Jeff Miller. I'm a fan and have been a supporter of Freddy since the beginning. Personally, I like the pivot. While there is no substitute for the written word, let's face it, to grow the sport and the Restrung brand, you need to create video content. I guess I'm a brand. Keep covering our great sport. I consistently point people to your media channels, hoping they engage it like I do. Viva la Racquetball. Jeff is the one guy that has read every article I've ever written on Restrung Mag. And the guy's super supportive. Jeff, I want to thank you. Over the years, you've sent me so many messages and you've been such a big supporter. I can't say enough how much that means to me. Just, thank you, man. I totally appreciate you. Another comment. Love it, Freddy Bones. I have a nickname, Freddy Bones. Thank you, Troy. That was from Margot Scott. She's one of the biggest racquetball enthusiasts I know. She's also on the LPRT board of directors and super supportive. Margot, Freddy Bones thanks you very much. Comment from Daily Racquetball, JT, another friend. I need more friends. Always a fan, Freddy. Love what you're doing with your day job and with your extracurricular activities as well. Keep them rolling out. Extracurricular activities, day job. Boy, you're all in my business. No, I'm just kidding. JT, thank you so much, man. JT manages site, dailyracquetball.com. Look for it on Facebook. Plug. Thanks for the comment, JT. And the last comment I'll read is from Racquetball is Not a Crime. That's a great name. Freddy, in an effort to share best practices among tournament directors, you should spend some time with the guy running the Longhorn Open in Austin. He sells out 400 plus entries in under 5 minutes. How does he do it? Racquetball is not a crime? That's a great question. I wish more tournament directors were doing what they're doing down in Austin. I know people who move away from Texas often fly back just for that tournament. It's a great thing. Maybe I'll do something on tournament directors. I don't know. We'll see. If I get enough comments, I will. Hear them birds? Birds. Freddy Bones. Bones. Like bone. Like bones. Freddy Bones.
There goes a sight from my soul.